folks, and welcome to this week's edition of The Legacy, where we combine the old school with the new with one thing in mind, and that is to win. And this week, we bring on the ultimate winner, my quarterback, Super Bowl champion of 17, that is Joe Theismann. Joseph, welcome to the program. How are you?
Doc, it's always good to catch up with you. We do this at least 3-4 times a year. You keep getting younger and younger, and I'm more envious and envious, I can tell you that.
You entered the Collegiate Hall of Fame in your lifetime. You're a Super Bowl champion. You're number one in yards passed and wins with the Washington football team. What's number one with Joe?
Gosh, it's always been for me, my teammates. Under Coach Gibbs, under Coach Pardee and Coach Allen, I came in when we were the strongest union team in football. I wasn't, I guess you could say, welcomed with open arms because I came into town and you had two legendary quarterbacks in Sonny and Billy. And I was like the third wheel. Sam Weish had been moved out, and all of a sudden here was this young hotshot from Notre Dame, who, by the way, was foolish enough at that time to make the statement that I didn't come here to sit, I came here to play. I think whatever friendship Billy and Sonny had, I even forged it more with my simple comment. And then it just, the people I played with, but the experiences of being around practice, being around the guys in the locker room, coaches, players, everybody in the whole building. I look forward to going to work every day, Doc. I really did. I loved practice. I loved being around the facility. I loved being around everybody. And that camaraderie, I think, carried over onto the field. And, it doesn't hurt to win a lot of football games either. And we were able to do that and sort of keep the joy going.
Took you over 20 years to watch your horrific injury in that night against the New York Football Giants. When you have watched Alex, who to me is Superman, and he is what I thought you would have done had you been able to come back and your leg had allowed you to come back. I thought you'd still be playing. Describe what it means for you to see Smith.
I've said this many times before. I know Elizabeth, his wife, is his biggest fan. I got to qualify myself as the second biggest. I've talked to him a lot through the journey of the 2 years as he prepared to come back and play. Our injuries were similar, Doc, but the path to get back on the field for Alex was so much more difficult. Plus, you have to remember, in 1985, if you were 35, 36 years old, they didn't welcome you with open arms. And there wasn't a contract like we see today waiting there for you to try and fulfill. I thought the football team made a good move not moving him. They could have saved a lot of money on the cap had they moved him. They didn't. He waited behind Kyle, and he waited behind Dwayne for his opportunity to go. And that's what Dwayne has right now, back there a second. He has an opportunity. Now you get a chance to capitalize on it. But what Alex has done, I guess none of us should be surprised, Doc, because part of his training regimen was to carry rocks underwater. Okay, so if that's part of your training regimen, then okay, what's a broken leg to come back from, and infections and surgeries and everything else. But I have so much respect, so much admiration for him. I said it when he walked on the field the first time. He's the comeback player of the year. And now you look what he's been able to do, winning football games with us, leading this team in a winning way. And it is truly, and that's what this football team's become under Ron Rivera. This is a team which means together, everyone achieves more. It's a great acronym. And that's who the Washington football team have become.
And it reminds me of the 1981 campaign that we shared, and having won in Chicago, I see them in transformation. I see them now buying in as we bought in. If they can become as close as we were and are, then they'll win. And I see that coming as we speak and as we watch.
Doc, I agree with you. And because there's so much youth on this football team, we forget how young everybody is. I mean, yeah, we've got 5 first-round picks in the front 5, but Ryan's the oldest of the bunch. I mean, the oldest is 25, 26 years old.
Yeah.
On offense, we're still young. There's one aspect of this football team that nobody has talked about, and it really deserves a lot of credit, and that is our offensive line. Our offensive line, to me, has done an outstanding job. The runners have come in. Alex has had enough time to be able to operate. And that's where it starts. It starts with those 5 guys up front. And the longer our guys play together, the better they're going to be. But you're right. It's a young football team, and they're learning how to win. And remember, when we beat Chicago in Chicago, Neil Olkowitz intercepted a pass. Dave Brutz recovered a fumble. That was not an offensive display by any stretch of the imagination. We were led by our defense.
Yeah.
And you look at what our defense was able to accomplish over the period that we played, 81, 82, second half of 81, 82, 83, 84, and then halfway through 85. I mean, we rode a great horse right then. One of the things I do get a kick out of, though, in football as a sideline is you see defensive backs get beat, right? Now, there's nobody but the defensive back and the receiver. And the defensive back goes, my bad. Who else are you going to blame? Come on, man. My bad. Of course it's your bad. The guy ran by you. Or you didn't make – I mean, I get the biggest kick out. The guy goes, hey, don't worry about it. My bad. I got to laugh my rear end off. I go, wow, that's, Captain Obvious, I guess you could say.
This portion of The Legacy is presented by your local Nissan dealers.
At Honda, we take the holidays seriously. With serious style and serious capability. So while others may be decking the halls, you could be dashing through the snow with the best value of the season. Now's the best time to get into a new Honda. KBB.com's best value brand for 2020. Visit Happy Honda Days at your local Honda dealer or shop online to get a great offer on the CR-V.
I choose VA because they made me whole again.
I choose the VA because the VA cares.
I choose the VA because they provide seamless care through all stages of life.
I choose VA because it helped me with my PTSD.
I choose the VA because they make me feel important.
I choose VA because they've saved my life.
I choose VA because I'm a veteran and I enjoy serving veterans.
Choose VA today. For more information, visit va.gov.
Yeah, things are a little different this year.
Happy holidays! And we wish you a Merry.
But it's good to know you can count on holiday scratch-offs from the Maryland Lottery. Multiply the cheer. Please play safely and responsibly.
The best team has a great sense of family. The best family has a great culture. And within that culture, there is great character. When you have all those elements come together, you've got a team.
DC has a home for the greatest hits of all time.
That would be Michael Jackson for me.
DC's greatest hits.
Madonna.
Billy Idol. Live here.
Cyndi Lauper.
Bon Jovi.
94.7.
Blondie.
The Eagles.
The Drive.
You know, Joe, one of the interesting things about our team were all the subgroups. You know, the Pearl Harbor crew, the Fun Bunch, the Hogs, and you who kept trying to get in to that club and they never, ever voted you in, so you created your own thing.
You know, Doc, I as a quarterback, you're sort of, you're sort of out there. So you don't really belong to a group, okay? And I was envious of so many guys that really hung together and did a lot of things together. And the Hogs, of course, they're the ones that took care of me for all those years. But I could never get into the 5 o'clock club. I could never get into the shed where the Hogs went until we played the New York Giants. And Joe handed the ball to Joe Washington. He started right. And then Joe came back to the left, and I threw a block on a defensive back. And I cut him down. Joe went in the end zone. And they made me an honorary hog, but they dubbed me not a true hog, a piglet. So I had the opportunity to get into the shed to share a little libation with my teammates, the Hogs, just as a little piglet. Only once, they only let me in once, but I'll tell you, it's one of the neatest things that happened to me. And I didn't realize I'd have to just throw a block to get in. I'd have done it a long time ago, Doc, had I known that was the way in.
Well, you caught punts, you kicked, you did almost everything you could, but that group was kind of honorary.
Yeah, but the most fun I had was the day I stole the bus in training camp and drove us from practice back to the dorms. But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, Joe, keep that one. Yeah, FCC.
It's 2020. Let's make a splash. Play the DC Lottery's Roaring Cash.
The best team has a great sense of family. The best family has a great culture. And within that culture, there is great character. When you have all those elements come together, you've got a team.
Oh, we love our new home. Neighborhood's great.
Amazing school district. The HOA has been very involved.
These shrubs aren't board approved. You need to break down your cardboard.
Thank you.
Violation. Violation.
I see you've met Cynthia.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
And does help us save a bunch of money.
2 inches over regulation.
Thanks, Cynthia.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. DC has a home for the greatest hits of all time.
That would be Michael Jackson for me.
DC's greatest hits.
Madonna.
Billy Idol.
Live here.
Cyndi Lauper.
Bon Jovi.
94.7.
Blondie.
The Eagles.
The Drive.
It's all-wheel drive season, and your local Honda dealers are bringing the best deals of the year. It's clearance pricing during the Happy Honda Days sales event. Dash through the snow to a rugged and adventurous Honda. Check out the entire all-wheel drive truck and SUV lineup. CR-V, HR-V, Ridgeline, Pilot, and Passport, with features like Honda Sensing, Magic Folding Seats, and 3 different driving modes. Clearance pricing is here, but it won't last long. Don't miss clearance pricing at the Happy Honda Days sales event, now at your local Honda dealer.
The Legacy is brought to you by Janet King. Let Janet King get your business back to business. Visit to schedule a disinfecting service today. You went through a name change in the campaign for the Heisman. Theismann. Explain that.
My name when I was in college, real quick, my senior year, our sports information director, Roger Baldessari, calls me in the office. He said, Joe, how do you pronounce your last name? I said, it's Theismann. He said, no, it's not. It's Theismann. I said, no, it's not. It's Theismann. He said, no, it's not. It's Theismann. I said, give me the phone. I called my dad back home. I get my dad on the phone. I said, Dad, I got a question for you. He says, far away, Joe. I said, Dad, tell me, how do you pronounce our last name? And there's dead silence on the phone. My dad comes on. He says, son, are you all right? You're a senior in college. You don't know who you are. What's going on there? I said, I'll explain it later. Hung the phone and he said, your name is Theismann. I turned to Roger and I said, Raj, my last name is Theismann. He said, Joe, there's a trophy out there called the Heisman Trophy. Goes to the best college football player in the country. We think you have a chance to win that trophy. But we're not just going to count on your athletic ability nor the reputation of the University of Notre Dame, but we think by simply changing your name from Theismann to Theismann to rhyme with Heisman, we can get you that trophy. That's how I wound up becoming Joe Theismann.
Your time is invaluable. You know the Burgundy and Gold Nation. We love you, man. We love you to death. Thank you for doing this.
Doc, you're the best. I love being with you. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a safe holiday. And to everybody listening out there, social distance, wash your hands, wear your mask. We're going to get through this because you know what? We're not only going to get through this because of who we are as people, because we got one heck of a football team to root for going forward.
That's my quarterback. Hey, folks, that's going to do it for this week's edition of The Legacy. Please give Kyle and Stevie a high five for all of us, and we call it a Fun Bunch high five. And we'll do it again next week right here on The Legacy. God bless all of you.